please help out the channel. Hit that subscription button. I'm coming out with tons of videos and you don't want to miss them. Leonard Nimoy, The Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. Intro progression. We can do a little walk-up notes, kind of like that tuba or whatever the bass does there. And it's going to be in a key of C, so we're going to walk up to that. And we'll start that by 3, 5, 7 on the E. And then that'll get us to our 8 on the E with the bar chord style C. Okay. And with this, you just hit it a couple more strums. And then we do this fun little like chromatic thing that happens here where we bump up a fret to the 9s for the C sharp. Do a few strums there. Back down to the 8 for the C. And then down further to the 7s, 1 fret there for the B. And we kind of start it again. We do the 8 at the C. Come up to the C sharp at the 9s. But then here we just go right back to the C for a measure. The main verse progression here, this is good for the first and second verse. The first verse has a little bit of a dynamic thing that's different at the end, where we just hit a chord and rest. Second verse doesn't do that. So we'll start off at C, of course, at our 8th fret here. For just one measure there, just kind of loose, arbitrary strumming. Something like that, you know. Drop down to the F at the 1st fret. One measure there. Up to G at the 3rd fret. And then to the C at the 8th fret again. And then we kind of start with the next 4 measures here. C for a measure. Now we kind of hit this fun little change where we go down to A flat, so at the 4th fret here. And like I said, at the end of the first verse, we hit this G at the 3, hit it, rest, and then we come up and we hit that C and then rest. Whereas in the second verse, we would just, kind of strum those out as normal. For the first chorus, we drop down to this voicing of F, just kind of drop down a set because we're on a C. So 8 on the A with the 10s on the D, G, B. And with this, we kind of pick through it a little bit. We hit the, after coming off of that B, that 10 on the B, we come back to the 10G, 10B, 10G, just pick through that. Okay. Drop it down 2 frets for the E flat at the 6 and the 8s, kind of pick that the same way. And then we'll go to A flat here at the 4th fret. Bring it up to the A sharp for a couple strums. And then ultimately back to the C at the 8th fret here for a measure. Repeat that initial F and E flat. And then just hang out on a G chord for a measure here. And at the end of the first chorus, we do a measure of that G, and then we get back to our intro progression, that, little chromatic riff that we did at the intro. That type of deal. The third verse comes along and we get a key shift. All those 60s songs love doing key shifts for some reason. But yeah, so, we're just bumping up. Same progression, just up a half step. So instead of C, we're at C sharp now at the 9th fret. Drop down to 2nd fret for F sharp. 4 for the G sharp. Back to the 9s for the C sharp. C sharp. And then we do A at the 5th fret. G sharp at the 4th, and then back to C sharp at the 9. All right, and of course the second chorus will be key shifted as well. So we'll be at F sharp at the 9 and 11s on the A, the D, G, B there. Everything stays the same. Down 2 frets to 7 for the E. All right, and then we land on, A at the bar chord 5 here. Couple strums up here at the B at the 7s. And then back to our C sharp at the 9. All right, go through the F sharp to E again. And the way we end the second chorus, where we would be hanging out on this G sharp for measure. And instead of going back to that intro that we did in the other chorus, we just come back up to the C sharp for another measure. Now we get this cool bridge section. It's just this real chromatic thing happening again. We're at our C sharp here at the 9s. And we add these little like lead lines now. Drop down to to our 9 on the E, hit that, hit 12, and then come up and bend 14. All right, and we're basically going to take just what we did there and just bump it up a fret and keep going with that. All right, so now we go to 10th fret here at the D, and 10, 13, 15. Okay, the ratio all stays the same, it's just a fret higher. And then D sharp at the 11, 11, 14, 16. All right, and at this point, he just kind of continues with the lead part, not really like a guitar strumming chords. Everything else is bumping up the chord. It goes to E, F, F sharp, G. But for the guitar, the lead line is just kind of what keeps going. So we would just go switch it a little bit here, where we would hit our initial note, the 17 on the B now, go 15, E, 17. Same thing, we're just kind of playing it in a different spot because we're getting so higher here. And kick it up a fret still, 18B, 16E, 18E. Take that a fret higher, 19, 17, 19. And then we just end up ultimately at 20B, 18E, 20E. Okay, let's get real high with it there. Hopefully you got a lot of frets.